China has officially entered the most dangerous part of its flood season, and authorities are racing against time to prevent a disaster. The Chinese government has activated a Level 4 emergency response for flood control, as relentless rainfall pushes rivers, lakes, and reservoirs toward critical levels. Emergency teams have already been dispatched to Hunan, Hubei, and Anhui provinces, where officials are preparing for potentially severe flooding. At the center of the crisis is the Yangtze River, China's longest river and home to one of the most ambitious engineering projects ever built, the Three Gorges Dam. The year's first major flood has now reached the dam, sending an enormous flow of around 50,000 cubic meters of water every second through the reservoir. It's the first major test of the flood season, and millions of people downstream are watching closely. Authorities say this is a crucial stage for flood control efforts. Continuous heavy rainfall has caused water levels to rise across the middle and lower reaches of the Yangtze River. Dongting Lake and Poyang Lake, two of China's largest freshwater lakes, are both experiencing unusually high water levels. Taihu Lake has already exceeded its official warning level. At the same time, multiple rivers across Jiangxi and Anhui provinces have risen above flood warning levels after days of persistent rain. To reduce pressure on downstream communities, China is coordinating reservoir operations across the upper Yangtze River basin. By controlling how much water flows toward the Three Gorges Dam, engineers hope to reduce flood risks further downstream. Despite growing concern, officials insist the situation remains under control. According to the Three Gorges Cascade Dispatch and Communication Center, the dam has not yet reached its maximum flood storage capacity. During this first flood, the reservoir's water level climbed to approximately 149 meters, well below its maximum operating level of 175 meters. Engineers say the reservoir still has significant room to absorb additional floodwater if heavier rainfall arrives in the coming weeks. The Three Gorges Dam was specifically designed for moments like this. Before each flood season, water is intentionally released from the reservoir to create storage space. Once heavy flooding begins, the dam captures massive amounts of incoming water, slowing the flood before it reaches densely populated cities downstream. During the current flood, officials estimate the dam can intercept up to 18,000 cubic meters of water every second, helping reduce peak flood flows along the Yangtze River. The dam's operators have also responded to criticism that releasing water from the reservoir causes flooding downstream. They argue that many recent flooding incidents in cities are actually the result of intense local rainfall overwhelming urban drainage systems, rather than controlled releases from the dam itself. Since June, southern China has experienced weeks of persistent downpours, causing rivers across the region to swell beyond warning levels and increasing pressure on flood control infrastructure. The Three Gorges Dam has faced similar challenges before. Officials point to major floods in 2010 and 2012, when flood flows exceeded 70,000 cubic meters per second. During those extreme events, they say the dam successfully reduced downstream flood risks and protected millions of residents living along the Yangtze River basin. Today, the Three Gorges project remains one of the largest water control systems on Earth, stretching over 2.3 kilometers in length and standing 185 meters high. The project includes the massive concrete dam, a 5-stage shiplock, and 34 hydroelectric generators that supply electricity to large parts of China. But as the rainy season continues, the biggest question remains unanswered. Will this year's flood season remain manageable, or is this only the beginning of a much larger test? With more storms forecast, rising rivers, and millions of people living downstream, China's flood defenses are entering one of their most important periods of the year. The coming weeks will determine whether the country's largest dam can once again hold back the power of the Yangtze River, or whether nature will push the system closer to its limits than ever before. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications for more updates on major global events infrastructure, and breaking news from around the world.